Hi, this video would be about our our BM64 EVB. So we will try to update the firmware and the EEPROM parameters. As you can see, my desktop is already cluttered with the tools that we will use in order to do our objectives. So firstly, let us update the firmware of the module. So we'll be using the ISSC update flash tool. And on the lower right part of the screen, you can see that the EVB is already at flash update mode since the switches are already in the on position. So let's just browse for the firmware. This peak version 2.1 flash. Selecting all of this and update. Now that the firmware update is finished, we can disconnect and perhaps minimize this view. Now let us prepare our module for the UI updates or the EEPROM parameter updates. So I'll be starting here with the MPET tool. Let me open 6264, this tool, MP, this tool, our MPET tool. So we'll be following the steps on the EVB's user guide. We'll be using a UI patch only. Then viewing for the default bins, the dual modes pick is26x. This is the default bin file. Then select for the oh this would we will be already combining the generated files, so this is not the right step. Let's start with the DSP config tool. The dual mode pick, changing the module, IC version. Let's just save the default. So I won't be changing any of this. This is just an example. I have this default. Let's just overwrite this. Now using the UI tool, then this is the default UI parameters. Since my module is a class 1 BM64, I'll be selecting this. From my experience, I tried to choose this BM64 class 1 IC package, but there has been a mismatch. So I'll be proceeding with this. The UART, I'll be disabling the UART indicate. I won't change much. I'll be using the default. Save. EVB, let's omit my name. Default test. Since we have prepared the files, let us proceed with our merge list. So we need the two files using the UI tool, our default test, then adding our DSP default that text. Oh no, as you can see at the date it overrode it. Let's see if the tool could work with that period embed. I've made a folder for my tests. Live test underscore 1. We have generated that. And now it's time to update our EEPROM. So we shall put the module into our update mode. Let me just see my notes. They'll be on. So switch 2 should be in off position. So identify, yeah, it sees our module live test. Right. You cannot see in the screen, but the EEPROM is writing. Right, finish. Where is our speak? I forgot to update our steps. Let's just do a recap later. So exiting this and oh, I forgot to switch our board into up mode. So now should open the port and get our modules information. What's happening? There's no response from the module. Oh, right. I put it into the firmware update mode, not on the app mode. Now the module replies. As you can see, we can now talk to our module. So, shall enumerate the steps. Excuse me for a sec. We use the UI tool. So you can see here, we use default, default, IC package as IS64 class 1. And then after that, we created another DSP tool, which is the DSP to just generate the default. After that, our embed, oops. After that, embed tool, UI patch only. And then we use the default. 5, we use the EEPROM. Where is that? We forgot a step. Put the device. So for the step 7, put the module on app mode. And then after this, test the module using this PK command set. So that's it. So that's it. Oh yeah, that's basically the 8 steps that we did in order to update the EEPROM and the firmware of the BM64. So I hope there's some takeaways from this. Thank you for listening.